Hey there, Dungeoneers, and welcome back to the Dungeon Den. I hope you've been good, I hope you've been having fun, and I hope you've been getting inspired or doing things that you want to be doing, because we all want that in life. Thank you for anybody tuning in to watch out and check out this content. Trust me, I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. For those of you returning, thank you once again. It's so super cool for those of you who have subscribed and like and leave comments. Absolutely awesome. Thank you. It's really good for the channel. And for my Patreons. Build it and they will come. That is what they say. Thank you. Thank you ever so much for supporting and that bit more and helping out. Without me babbling on too much about everything and everything else, I guess there's a lot of stuff to talk about and be excited for. But this is the calling. Episode 14. The War. So, as always, sit back and relax. Because here we go.
The works of Tobias Ladnose as chronicled by Egbifar. A dark day for our party. Through the night and the storm, we were once again assaulted by these bats of shadow and darkness. However, our light magic was no longer sufficient to hold them at bay. Through some unknown cunning and primal anger, they would push through en masse, sacrificing countless of their seemingly endless numbers to strike at us. Tobin suggested using invisibility to attempt to evade their attacks and flee, so bravely volunteered. Invisible and tied to a rope in case it failed, Tobin ran towards the wall of bats. Sadly, invisibility was not sufficient protection, and the rope was disintegrated, and Tobin presumably with it. With Veer still missing, our numbers were starting to look very depleted. We fought wildly against the bats in fear and frustration to little noticeable effect. After what seemed like hours, a blue light started to emerge from the dark, dissipating the bats as it approached. It was carried by a hooded figure who scolded us for releasing the fairy from the lantern, that it was willing and served as a refuge from the bats. He told us that there was a settlement northwest of our location that may provide aid. He replaced the broken lantern and left us to get through the rest of the night. Morning came, and all that could be found of Tobin were a few scraps of cloth that Poppet took with her. Following the figure's advice, we headed northwest until we came across an encampment with lots of these fairy lanterns hung around. We entered a large structure, seemingly a food hall or tavern, and sought information, drawing interest of an elf with white hair who directed us to the neighbouring tent. In there, we were informed that in order to acquire a lantern, we must first obtain the service of a fairy, and directed us to go out into the woods to find them. We hired the elf, who went by the name of Finn, to act as a guide and protector, and we headed out into the woods.
Yeah. It's quite a lot. Tobin. Tobin's gone. Tobin's gone.
Sad kitty.
Yeah. Really didn't have 9 lives.
I think he just went through all 9.
Yeah, in one.
Scaredy cat.
Brave cat.
Very brave cat.
Yes.
till the very end.
Not that he did anybody any favours. He didn't sacrifice himself for anybody or anything.
We learned not to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a massive sacrifice.
He tried something in the
Uh,
hope of getting out.
That didn't work.
After you, they will never step into bats
Well,
again and
yeah.
tell everybody else to never do it. It's
Not just dead, but not even no
Nothing.
bodily remains. Even the magic artifacts you were carrying gone.
Yeah, the Mage's hand ring.
The bag of holding, the boots of flying, all these incredibly useful artifacts.
gone.
So
But yeah, with Tobin gone, it was getting a bit hairy. And they were pressing, but then they were broken by a blue light. As somebody carrying a lantern with fairies swapped out the broken lantern for a new lantern, saving you from the shadow bats. You followed the path in which you saw fit, following the lights, and it took you to a track, a bit of road that had numerous tents, 3 in total. Where there were some other adventurers, bandits, whatever, survivors, I guess. And that is where you met Finn. Finn? F-I-N. Finn.
Double N.
Double N. Finn.
Okay.
Who took an interest, saw you try and barter with the first real people to try bartering with at the first port that there's been to do so. Buzz decided to go with you north after a brief conversation of your purpose, which was all let out in full, I believe, if I can remember. Everybody was honest and upfront. And,
Tobias
think
has
the way-
hired you, hasn't he, effectively, I think.
I think there was an insight check, is all I'm thinking, and I think they played out that way.
Information was my want, my desire, more so than to be hired. I'm looking for information.
Right, okay, so a paladin on a journey. I'm a class 17, ready.
Ready.
And you guys have stumbled across him. You're thinking of going north. You need a lantern. I don't believe you got a lantern yet.
No, we were on the hunt for a fairy.
You want to try and get the fairy before you
That's
get
what
the
that's what they said we needed to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, we need to. We were heading out into the woods to get far enough away from civilization, I guess. They won't. They probably won't come that close. So yeah, head out into the wilds and try and tempt them out. Unless you have known of places that are particularly prevalent to find them.
No, we need to stay on the path. No, there's no wandering around here.
That's fine by me. You are the local expert. Let us.
I wouldn't call myself an expert. I've just been here long enough to know a few things.
Still more than us. I feel like we have maybe been fishing around in the darkness too much, but we didn't have much choice. No, our prior knowledge was not accurate.
Tell me, do you feel like you've been tested since you've been here?
A little more toyed with, perhaps.
In which way?
Sort of led a merry dance, shown tempted to things, tried to sort of lead us off our path, but then the path faded anyway. I feel nothing quite makes sense, but
Nothing ever does.
I seem to be getting that impression. But we are on the hunt for answers, so we have to ask the questions to find the answers.
Have you been led anywhere by fairies since you've arrived in this place?
We were once. They led us to a large tree protected by some aggressive spirits, and then the tree had an entranceway that led us into a sort of safer area. But we never quite knew why they led us there.
We found some artifacts. Nothing outstanding.
No. And they seem to have been abandoned as by a fallen adventurer rather than it being a hidden cache or anything like that. It definitely felt that it happened to be there. It wasn't the reason they took us there.
Do you happen to have a feeling of why they took you there?
We never worked it out. They were either taking us there in order to defeat whatever these creatures were.
And you defeated them?
We did, which meant the area was safe, I guess. So maybe they were trying to help do that. They may have been trying to guide us there so that we had a place of safety. It seems they are keen to defend people from these bats. Perhaps that was their intention, that we could use that as a place of safety. Or they may have been malicious. They may have been taking us there as a trap. Because they have not communicated with us directly.
And I don't think they ever will. But there's been rumors that people that are led and do things in favor of these fairies, they are looked upon more favorably when it comes to getting hold of a lantern. The fairies, they give themselves, their lives, to a lantern to help protect against the darkness. But they don't, they only do this for people that are worthy.
So you're saying we may need to find them and let them take us to some tasks.
Up our game, I think he's saying, in a polite manner.
But first we must find some.
I've been here for some time, and I do not possess a lantern. So when you say, up your game, I mean exactly that. Mine too.
You're telling me it is a rarity to have such a favor?
There's not many people that I've known.
So how do those of you without a lantern get by at night? Must you always return to encampments and?
You return. You do not stay out in the darkness if you want to survive. But there are places along the path that hold these lanterns. They're not to be moved. They're not to be messed with. This I am aware of.
presumably they are approximately a day's travel from each other, so that you never have to camp away from one. Is that the idea?
It depends on how fast you can walk, or how fast you can travel.
True. Well, if we cannot, we will, I guess, do we stick to our plan of trying to acquire a lantern in the mean, and if that doesn't work, then we will have to travel on without. I'm reluctant to. I do not want to face another night like that.
It's not wise to stay out in the night without protection. Fairies, lantern.
What sort of time of day? Are we sort of lunchtime-ish?
It's midday. It's midday.
So shall we spend the rest of the day seeing if we can find some fairies? And if not, return here tonight before travelling on again tomorrow? Or do you know of another lantern within half a day's travel from here? If we were to head out and not find fairies, we want to make sure we can get somewhere safe.
Roll a history.
Roll a history. That was, what does that do? Is 10.
10 total.
Tell me.
You know of one. You could get to one.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough time.
Okay. Along the path.
Following the path, you are aware that going north instantly, that you can turn off a couple of leaves in a direction where you know that there are some lanterns they've managed to set up. So, yeah, there is a lantern you can get to in a northeast direction.
Yeah.
That would be the closest. You know of another one north, but you need a full
Days travel.
full day of the travel. And south, they're closer because there's a constant line down to the southern. A village, a shantytown is way too much of a description, but more like tents and triage set up. A bit busier than the one you were at, with a few more options and people.
Safer.
Yeah, safer.
I can lead you to one tonight. Today. If we don't delay, we could make it before night.
And then hopefully from there we can find some fairies either today or tomorrow, depending on when they choose to make themselves known. I think that sounds like a good plan. We will follow you then, good sir.
It is their choice. I wouldn't bet my life on it.
That is why heading for a lantern and camping there for the night before trying again in the morning would be wise. Yes, lead on then, good sir. Poppet, are you happy?
Poppet will smile and nod along and just start walking. She does.
Not that way, Poppet. That way. We'll follow you.
She'll now walk past Egravar staring a little more intensely, holding the pose. Her head doesn't turn as she's walking, then turns back around.
Yeah, so follow you northeast.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for any
Well, the
sign
path
there.
is north at the
North.
moment.
No, yeah, but
You just
the
know
one
there's a
in-
lantern
yeah.
in the northeast,
No,
but you are just going forward. There's more of a path going
Yeah.
forward. Heading north directly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, okay.
And yeah, as we go, we're continuously looking for signs of gold sparkles and
Egravar, before you completely leave, before you set off, are you laying any mark down? Are you doing any notice, leaving any information for Veer still? Or are you letting go of the...
No, I don't think Egbert would let go. He's going to let go. I think he is going to... I mean, I guess what he might do is write something down on at this point, as there is civilization, Egbert is going to have as much as civilization we've seen, most civilization we've seen the whole time. He's actually going to leave a note. He's going to leave a note in the people in the forge, maybe saying,
okay,
explain that we have passed through, and if they were to see a black dragonborn come this way, please give him this note.
And they will do that for 5 gold coins.
That's fine.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah, prepared to do that. Yeah, I think he won't give up on, particularly having lost Tobin. He hopes Veer is still out there somewhere and may one day catch up with us. So yeah, the proverbial breadcrumbs. Which way we're heading? At what point we've passed through here, and hope that he can. And who we're traveling. I'd probably also mentioned who we're traveling with in case that name was useful for tracking us. And also, he would share the loss of Tobin in this note, so that just because he hopes that Veer would find it, and at least even if he doesn't catch up, at least he would, know that his
he knows. He knows. Yeah, it's enough.
He didn't like that cat anyway.
Yeah, that's why I didn't use friend. I wasn't quite sure how he was thinking. How Veer would. I don't think Veer thought of any of his friends necessarily yet. But yeah, what can I say? I'm a sentimental young fool.
Why not? So yes, you leave the information at the cost of 5 gold pieces. You begin to head north. Only an hour in, the clouds become heavier and heavier. The forest becomes darker and darker. And the rain starts to pour down. Heavy. It is flowing. It's not pooling up, but it is flowing south.
Right.
I might need to sneeze. But I don't want to do it whilst I'm talking and make it hard to edit. So I'm just going to act really weird and keep talking until it happens.
You would have done it if I hadn't interrupted you.
It is, yeah. But you're good at that. That's another 10 seconds of my life lost editing Gary again. Left a message for you in the last one anyway.
Have you? I've got to watch it now.
I know. I know if you lot have been watching that. What you told. It is flowing south. It's not like rapids. It seems to be trickling in southern direction though. But it is raining down hard. Could you both give me a perception roll, please, at disadvantage? Unless you have any ability or any magic which changes your perception in heavy pouring rain. I will roll for...
If I use the owls, if I sort of send my vision up into my familiar, the owl has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. So that would at least take it down to a straight roll. So yeah, I will use the owl's eyesight because this is probably better than mine. And if that has a bonus as well. If I will cast guidance on it before I do.
Proficiency in insight, perception, and survival.
Which is why it's +3 rather than... yeah, gives you advantage. Means you're getting proficiency.
No advantage.
No, it just gives you the +2 onto it already. It's not great.
Oh, come on. I couldn't.
12.
Both ends of the scale.
So we got what?
And that 20 if it was with advantage.
But
then that one,
yeah,
because it's not.
Brilliant.
And a 12 from the owl.
12 from the owl. and unfortunately, because it's disadvantage, pop it on a 6 with a +4. Otherwise, it would have been 23.
Well, I mean, it's technically a 5 then, but it really is not.
It's a 9.
You're not getting away from that. Okay, so
You're finding it hard to concentrate at the front, Finn. It just feels a bit different. You've met some adventurers, and they're willing to go north. No, it's different. The rain is coming down hard. You've got a lot on your mind. As much as you're trying, looking, maybe you're just too many things in your thoughts at this moment in time. Poppet really starts to dance and do little movements around where it's starting to pool and puddle. Slightly playfully balanced perfectly. Very elegant, like a dance. Ooh. Egravar, it's raining hard. You can just about make out you're following some form of pattern, but it is getting quite dark. As far as you're aware, you can't really see anything. You're in no danger. Everything seems to be just plodding on. Much of the same as it has been.
I don't think there's any point in trying to tempt the fairies out in this rain. They don't seem to, we've never seen them show their face in the rain. How far are we from the encampment, do you think, at this point?
But I know that one.
Yeah, you can roll me another history.
Another history, that'll do.
Yeah.
14.
You're a good 5 hours out. At a good pace.
We need to keep moving.
Okay. If you think you're confident you can continue to find the way in this rain, we will follow you.
It's been difficult, but we keep going north.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Plow on.
I'll have perception rolls again. Over the next couple of hours, Finn, from you, I want a survival.
Not perception. Survival and perception.
No, survival.
Yeah, I'm going to continue. Is it still a disadvantage?
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, the rain has not let up. It's still thundering down.
But I will continue to use my owls. I must name the owl.
At some point. You're finding it hard to connect after the last loss. You're just not ready to commit.
No. 18 perception.
Ooh.
With my owl eyes.
7 for me.
With the owl soaring through the air in the sky, it is dull, it is grey, it is heavy. There is rain coming down. But you can slowly see in the perimeter, was it 100 feet?
Yeah, you can say if it's within 100 feet of me, I can
kind of move around as you're walking through this rain, and after covering the 100 feet, it looks pretty clear. It's just getting rained out. It's a monsoon out there. But no sign of any land. Daylight is still coming through, but it's dark. It's like a dusk, not quite black. There's no light. You see no light. Not yet, anyway.
I wouldn't expect to at this point. Yeah.
It's been a few hours. Still going for the rest. For the next few, which would take you to 5, are you just going to keep trudging?
I assume we're keeping an eye out for the sort of the turn towards the northeast that we're expecting.
That's what the survival rolls for as well, so you're covered on 2 bases. You can just do perception if you wish, but it is what it is. But over the next couple of hours, if you are pressing forward, I need one more check from both of you. Perception from Egravar. What are you taking? Are you taking the survival or the perception?
I'll go for survival.
Okay.
Oh, getting better all the time.
Oh, that's a bit better.
Perception 21.
Ooh.
Survival 13.
Over the next couple of hours, darkness is starting to set in. But the rain is starting to cease. And through the eyes of your owl, Egrevar, you can see a glow in the distance bearing east. At quite a rapid turn left.
I will come back out of my owl sight, and no doubt I assume Poppet's once again. Every time I do this, I assume Poppet's right in front of me, and I've got used to it by now.
Doing the stuff.
It's that way, and point towards the east. I think I can see the light now in the distance.
See light.
Like through the owl's eyes, I can see, and I'll get the owl to fly back down and sort of land on my shoulder. I can use it as a extension of my senses. Seems to be, has become useful. He has very good sight, good hearing, and
We need to head towards the light.
indeed before it gets dark. Yeah, so we'll.
It's literally a couple, 100 feet away.
So let's go and make camp over there for the night, and in the morning we can see if we can find some fairies.
All right, okay. 100 feet away, you get to a rock very similar to the other one, where the last lantern was. There, sure enough, underneath it is a lantern glowing. With a fairy inside. The rain hasn't stopped, but it's spitting.
And there's shelter.
There is shelter under this, as you can see.
Then walks up to the lantern.
WYSIWYG.
And, is a lantern in reachable height?
No.
No, it's up high.
Yes, 10 feet.
Okay.
It's on a bit of chain on this one, but it's 10 feet up. A bit more chain.
Okay, that's fine. It just stands not directly underneath it, but kind of acknowledges it's there as he arrives, and then turns to say, "Let's make camp."
Indeed, we should gather some wood.
On it, you hear from Poppet.
He speaks.
Indeed. She's a marvel, and is very good at collecting firewood.
I will assist. And I'll walk off and I'll grab some myself.
Are you assisting?
Yeah.
Or are you helping?
No, not assisting Poppet, just grabbing stuff.
Survival, are you proficient in this? Or are you doing it yourself?
Doing
right?
it. But I am proficient. Is it disadvantage still? No. Might as well have been.
It's just really hard because it's been wet.
5.
Did Papa get any?
What are you doing?
I'm no
They've gone off,
good at finding firewood. I've learned. I'm preparing to light the fire.
So what are you doing there? Are you setting up camp?
Yeah,
We're going to say you're a set.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
please have a
Oh.
survival roll for that? Rolling.
16.
16.
Some good rolls so far.
Some very good rolls.
Otherwise, we would have been lost. Follow me, I know the way.
Go around in circles.
There are some dry rocks. There's some wet rocks But you're able to drag a few of the big ones over. You're getting yourself warm, ready, and you're digging a little bit of a pit with the rock around you, digging it down, and you've created like a dug fire pit, but you put the stones and you gather some of the wet mud together and put it into the corner of these stones so that they're able to lean against and sit in. And the fire will obviously dry everything out as you're waiting and give you a bit of a more comfortable sleeping area or something to lie against to prevent these winds. You've done well. It's a good little camp ready. Tobias is just sat around watching more than anything else, looking through his books with a lot of tutting and muttering and sounds as he is deep in thought. You look up to find Poppet once again with firewood. She comes, I think she's just felling trees in the forest. But she comes back with a lot of wood and is chopping it up in front of you in no time into perfect lengths for a fire.
I will use prestidigitation to just light a fire.
Perfect.
It does.
Absolutely, you get that bad boy going. So you have warmth, you have fire. Then Finn, a few moments later, you arrive back to this fire booming, a pile of wood in the corner, and everybody sat down. Is there any food being cooked? Who's prepping today? Or are you having your own rations? What's happening?
Probably just rations, I would guess. We're not.
Nothing special.
No, we're not. Can't afford to be. We've not got anything else. We don't want to keep using Tobias's magic all the time, do we? That wouldn't be. Don't have any more times he can do it. So no, just crack open it.
And the fact that he's done it once tells you that if it thinks he's needed it, it'll go again. If he's
equally, we're not. We're likely to be heading back to the encampment if we can get some fairies, so we'll be able to resupply hopefully there soon. Time for kind of get some sleep. They can take watches nonetheless. And as much as we have heard these lanterns work, I would still feel happier if one of us.
I will take.
Well, we can take it in turns, can't we? Just all get our rest. I know Poppet keeps something you are not aware of. Poppet is able to do rest without being totally asleep. She is able to keep watch even when.
We have something in common then.
Yeah, fine.
Korea's breaking her head moves towards Lantern as you say this. Meaning? She will ask.
I do not need to sleep. As long as I can meditate. This is enough for me.
She'll just go into like a pose. Listening to you.
Very similar.
That's all you get from Poppet. She's just stuck in sentry pose. You see Tobias disappear and blend into one of the rock outings that Egravar had set up earlier.
Do not be alarmed. He does this. That is his normal sleeping arrangement.
It's handy for him.
He seems to be content in his way. If you are happy taking first watch, I will get down for some sleep then. Wake me if you'd like to, when one of you would like me to take a turn. If you'd like any extra light before I go to sleep, I can provide some before I go.
I think the light is sufficient.
Fair enough.
For now.
which case I will get down and have 6 hours sleep. Unless I'm needed for I can do the last watch in the morning.
So, you get down. In the first hour, the darkness arrives like clockwork. The further north you go, the more this is becoming a normal thing in the night. As for the sound of thousands, hundreds of thousands of whispers and flapping is heard loudly through the night, through these hours. They do not break the blue light circumference of the fairy's power, or magic, or whatever it is that is holding them at bay.
I know I'm asleep at the moment, but when I wake up, I'll ask now before I forget. Are they attacking in the same? Are they trying to break through and turn to dust rather than they're not there? It's not they're ignoring that area. They are. It's the same effect as we used to see them trying to get in, but just
they are there. They are not turning to dust.
They fly
but
around.
But they are being held.
Okay.
It's almost
it's not as aggressive of an act as the light.
No, they're flapping because you can hear the movement. It's how they move. It's awkward and in and out and has sharp, horrible
But they're not
sounds.
trying. They know not.
They are not breaching it. Yeah, it's if you could see the perfect movement of their ability on the outside, they're probably skimming within a couple of mil of this blue glow. And you see some of the shapes, more like giant bats, through this blue glow as you did, amidst the light as it was burning them, and they were attacking it. And the same with the light from the fire, from the flames. But it is coming round to the end of your shift, Finn. What are you wanting to do?
I'm happy if knowing that Poppet is alert-ish.
She's just in this pose and has been. Is there any check you want to make or do through these hours?
Am I required to make a check?
No, you do have to. You don't have to do anything. But this is your chance. Have you been watching out? Is there anything you want to have been doing?
Always watching out.
So that would be a perception.
Mainly,
or passively.
I would probably stick with passive.
Okay.
Because it's just keeping an eye, not keeping an eye, but every now and again glancing to the light, the lantern, and just being aware of what's around you. But not actively, specifically looking.
Passive.
It's just that. Yeah, it's just that.
So what is your passive perception?
13.
So it comes to the end of your shift.
And I'm happy to let Equibart sleep. Because I can sit and meditate. I retain consciousness, but I'm in a trance-like meditation. As is Poppet, I feel that we are sufficiently guarded. And if you need sleep, we'll let you sleep.
One who does now, pretty much.
Tobias.
And Tobias...
Is it sleep with him?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Nobody knows, but as far as you're aware, he goes to sleep and wakes up.
Yeah. We can't see him anyway, so...
So, you have the whole night covered. Morning is coming up. You know full well what this blue light is capable of, and what it does, and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up, or you get up, Do you wake everybody? What do you do?
I'll
Tobias is unseen. Agrava is still asleep, sleeping sound.
kneel down on one knee by Agrava and just give him that slight touch and go, "It's time to wake up, my friend."
Oh, is it my turn for a shift?
No, it's morning. We need to move.
But I should have done my share of the watching. That seems.
Between me and Poppet, we have the evening covered. We're fine.
Okay, very well. I will not complain for a good night's sleep. Did anything of note happen?
Not that I could see. Thank God.
Good. Is the lantern still glowing? Is the fairies?
Is still glowing.
How often do you know how often these lanterns have to be replaced? How long can a fairy survive in one?
Depends on how far north you go. The further north the fairies' lanterns are placed, the less they live, the shorter they live. It seems that they use all of their power, all of their life force to protect us from darkness. And as he said that, he'll have a glance up at said fairy in the lantern, almost giving it a nod and pack his shit up. And we need to move.
Where are we heading today then? Further north, or do we head back to the main track and then keep north, or do we stay near here to try and attract?
What do you want to go back for?
I thought we were hoping to. The plan was to try and get a lantern of our own to take with us, rather than rely on going from.
You won't get a lantern of your own. You'll be given one, if you are lucky.
Do we not need to be at the encampment to get one? Or do the fairies provide their own?
They. Do I know that? Do we?
Why don't you roll a history check?
Because I know that they. That's a 11.
You've heard of a place that could possibly.
We can keep going north, but you will be chosen. You don't collect fairies.
Okay. You are the expert, as it were, in the area, so we are ready to argue with you. I did not understand. Perhaps I did not understand how these lanterns worked.
Yes, I thought Tobias appears from nowhere. I thought we were luring fairies to get a fairy.
Good luck with that.
So what are we meant to be doing?
We wanted to head north.
Yes, but we wanted a lantern to make us allow us to be safe in that.
With a fairy in it?
And the gentleman in the forge workshop, I don't know how you describe it. They were adamant that we needed a fairy before we could get a lantern.
We'll have to head further north to gain any help with the lanterns.
Is there another?
There is a rumor.
Is there another place, another sort of civilization, another settlement or encampment further north that we are heading towards, or is this as far as you have travelled?
There is a rumor of someone that can help. But it's been a rumor for a long time. I knew of this person a lifetime ago, but the name is more of a whisper now. I dare not say the name, but I know if you have any chance, it's to head in the direction we've been traveling.
You are saying somebody can help with what? Fairies or the lantern? Or
With the
both?
lantern.
Huh.
Well, I guess we should go north for now then and see if we see some fairies in the interim. We are not yet so far that we could not turn back to the encampment tomorrow.
How far is this next lantern that we are looking for?
The next lantern is easily a day's travel. So if we need to move now, if we want to make it before it's dark.
Very well. I guess we head to that one. If we see a fairy, we can discuss what to do at that point. Back to the road from here. Then what is it? Back to the path.
Yeah.
I'll follow him then.
You roll a survival here.
I may have lost something in translation of what we discussed.
You have.
so-
It's okay then.
That's a bit better.
It's not why you was that disadvantage. No.
It's not. We're not doing disadvantage.
No.
Okay,
Normal
well-
roll.
Well, I'll say 18 because I rolled it. So we'll
say it because I rolled it.
We'll go with the lower one, and it's not cheap.
Mhm.
18.
Yeah. Okay, so you start your way not towards the track, not towards the road, not towards the path, but northwest, northeast.
Why are we not going back to the track?
We need to head more northeast, north, if we want to come across this rumor.
Do I trust him? Can I do an insight to see whether I
Absolutely, yeah. Tobias said earlier, but
Well, it's a natural 1, but with guidance and my proficiency, that takes it to 9. I can't tell.
it's not even
No.
no.
I guess, yeah. As long as we can always get, if we don't find anything in half a day, we can always return back here.
Know this, Finn. If you're planning anything silly or out of turn, I think you might find us more of a handful than you give us credit for.
I'm counting on you guys to be more of a handful than I give you credit for in this place.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
No. But it sounds true enough to me. He believes it. As long as it is within a day.
You say we need to move quickly.
We do not need to dawdle. We are wasting daylight as it stands.
Lead on then. We'll follow the way he was heading then.
Right, okay.
But we'll put him at the front.
So Finn's going at the front, and are we going to be going at a pace? Are you going to try and make this happen?
We're going to have to.
Okay, so all rolls will be done at disadvantage. And I would like a survival roll and a perception roll.
Can I continue to use my owl?
This is it. You can use your owl, yes.
So I'll just put a hand on Poppet's arm so I don't lose my bearings while I can't look. And
Yeah, Poppet's got
keep
you.
Keep an eye on me. Very cute.
9 for your survival.
9.
What was his perception? So that is 21.
Different.
21 perception from the owl.
Yeah. Over the next 12 hours, you've been going hard through this terrain. It's cold, but the rain has stopped. There's been no more rain. It's still a bit soft. It's still not the greatest of conditions. But you've been going hard, and you're getting tired. What are you wanting to do? This could possibly be a halfway point as far as you're travelling.
So we've done 12.
12 hours, yeah, on at maximum tilt.
It's going to be
very tired.
not long until it gets dark then.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
no
do you
sign
want
of
to start
no
with?
sign. Well, looking for a lantern would be one that'd be. As it's particularly if it's starting to get, you should be able to see it in the dusk as dusk starts to fall. It should be more obvious where the lanterns are. But the owl flies up and around and above the canopy a bit. So
Well, a full day's 24 hours.
yeah, but daylight isn't.
Daylight isn't, no.
How much further? You said it was. We should be able to get there by dark.
History check for me. I have 6.
You believe it's not much further. At least you hope it's not much further. Darkness is coming.
It shouldn't be much further now.
Yeah.
Can you see anything from above?
Did I see anything when I was for the previous 12 hours?
I hope I'm not heads off them.
Can I go up and do a specific hunt around? Stop. We'll actually use the owl specifically looking for blue lights. So in the distance, can I see any? It's got 120 foot dark vision. I can send it 100 foot from me.
Mm-hmm.
So do a quick orbit around, looking specifically this time.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't be a disadvantage, would it?
No, it's for your owl.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
would it be? Would I be able to roll at advantage if I'm doing it? If we've stopped to do this?
You can roll this at advantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. At this moment in time, and then I'll let you do this. And
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. Because that's 24.
right. Oh, it's very good.
Yeah, natural 20 plus 1 plus 3.
As you all momentarily stop, and you go into your pose and take hold of Poppet's arm, and she holds you. You go into your owl. The owl is flying around. It is getting darker and darker, but for these senses, through its eyes, you do see blue. Yeah. A couple of blue lights. Maybe some yellow lights just on the cusp of this 100-foot area.
All in the same sort of direction.
almost lined up like fires. Like people would have sconces at an entry or at a camp.
So the owl will come back, and I'll pop back out my vision, slightly jump again, because Poppet is presumably still staring me in the eyes as I do this every. That way. There were some lights that way.
Fantastic. I told you it wouldn't be long.
We must go quickly. Let me. No sign of bats yet.
No, not yet, but they will be coming.
I will. Are we worried about stealth? Are there creatures likely to attack as it gets dark?
There are all sorts of creatures.
Let me ask a more direct question. Would light be advisable at this stage to protect us from any early bats? Are we better off just sneaking in the dark?
You definitely need to not be in the dark at night.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll. You know this. Like, you need light.
In which case, I will.
Light is life in this instance.
I will.
That's what I'll relay.
Cast in best Gandalf fashion. I will just. He'll just sort of wave his hand over the end of his staff and cast light. Just so as we're trotting through the woods, we're not in total darkness, even if it's only dusk. I think Egbert has become a little nervous of the dark. Not quite afraid of the dark, but uncomfortable in the dark.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I think Tobias isn't quite happy.
Yeah.
He's invisible. Then he saw what that did for...
Yeah, visibility.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Kind of not as assured of himself as he once was.
Yeah.
You are jogging.
Yeah.
You're tired though. This 100-foot feels double. It just feels double. You've been going hard. You've been tiring. As you're running through the darkness, and you hear all the flutterings and the sound of death coming for you. In front, 50 foot, you see shapes. You see construction. Wood construct, wood gate, a wooden wall, possibly, with blue lanterns and sconces up and around it. What do you do? The sound of the bats is coming. They are coming. Just run towards this gate, regardless, into the light. As you breach the light, the bats are turning into dust around you, as you all make it in front of this very large wooden fortification of wall. It has 2 lanterns 20 foot from each other, 10 foot from you, either side, and sconces every 10 feet.
And there's a gate.
About 20 feet. No gate. That there is what you are seeing, but this is where we're going to hold it for a break at the wall. Okay. Light is life.
Light is life.
I'm so glad I took that cantrip.
I don't have that cantrip. I never had the option.